Hello, hello. Welcome back to stream. We're going to continue Beacon Pines and see what other alternative choices we can make. Because, what? The whole town was at the festival and we all just got froze to death. Besides Granny. But yeah, we're going to do that. So, we're just going to get right into it.
At that moment, a merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end. On a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention for the rest of time. The end.
Yeah, so that's what happened on the last stream.
There's that ice again! Whenever I think we're getting close, it comes along and ruins everything! Maybe we should just quit? Maybe you should just close the book, walk away, and never think of me again. No, I don't mean that. We got a little closer this time. We just need to try again. Please.
Okay. So we could have a sly interrogation, or we could run away from the clipboards. We're gonna continue this story though. Yeah, so the interrogation is gonna be sly.
They'd run the classic good cop, sly cop interrogation. Luca and Rollo ducked behind a barrel, leaving Beck to her task. With a few crisp snaps, she roused Mr. Tolliver.
What? What's going on here? You're the Modwell girl. Please call me Beck. Sorry about all this.
Mr. Tolliver looked down and shifted a bit, testing his restraints.
It seems there's been a mix-up. You see, I'm down here for the same reason you are. Juniper sent you here?
Beck caught herself before letting the surprise manifest on her face. She'd already gotten him to reveal his relation to Gran. This was gonna be easy.
You know how Juniper is with her precautions. Operation Sparkplug has us all on edge. I guess she thought you needed some backup. But she sent a child. What better way to avoid prying eyes? Who would suspect a kid? I suppose that makes sense.
Mr. Tolliver wriggled a bit in his restraints.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Beck quickly removed the ropes.
That had to be uncomfortable. A little, yeah. But you understand. We never know who to trust in this town.
Mr. Tolliver rubbed the growing knot on his forehead.
Very true. So it turns out we're both here,
Beck
too.
twirled her hand, as if to prompt Mr. Tolliver to finish her thought.
Destroy the evidence.
Beck shook her head and clicked her tongue.
Yep, the old gal's is nothing if not thorough.
Mr. Tolliver let out an amused huff in agreement.
She sure is. Can't blame her though. If anyone were to find out that we're going to destroy the source, well, we both know how bad that might be. No one will know anything once I finish cleaning things up down
Beck
here.
was on a roll now, playing Mr. Tolliver like a fiddle.
You're sure you can finish this up on your own? Juniper trusted me for a reason. You can leave the rest to me. Good. There is one more loose end I'll go work on. Loose end? Oh, it's nothing really. The other day, I had the radio on scan while restocking the candy shop. And wouldn't you know, I intercepted an old phrase in a perennial harvest transmission. Underground secrets. That's ominous. I think it might be a password, but Juniper dismissed it. Said it wasn't mission critical. What's the password for? We don't know. So we have a password and know where to put it. It's gotta mean something, right? Good thinking. You should probably go work that out. I've got this under control. That's a relief. Between you and me, this basement gives me the willies.
Heading for the stairs, Mr. Tolliver hesitated and turned to Beck with a puzzled look. She grinned and gave him a peppy wave. With a shrug, he continued up the stairs, whistling a jaunty tune.
You guys catch that? Sure did. This whole time Mr. Tolliver's had a candy shelf. But all he ever sells us is apples.
Beck blinked slowly in disappointment.
The password, Rolo. Well, sure, but once things are back to normal, I'll be having a word with Mr. Tolliver about that candy shelf. Fine. In the meantime, I've got an idea.
She turned to the table and began tearing small scraps of paper.
He said he heard a password on the radio. Any good spy transmission is never what it seems.
Beck marked each scrap of paper and leaned back.
We just need to find the hidden meeting. Huh, okay. What's another word for underground? Buried, covered. Could it be a cover-up? Maybe it's one of those each letter is a number thingies. So U would be 21. N would be 14. D would be... Oh! It's an anagram. Nuncreed's drugstore.
Luca and Beck looked at Rolo with amazement.
Rolo, that was incredible. Well, it's either that or Kren's new drugstore. Yeah, I think you were right the first time. How did you do that? What can I say? I love ciphers. Well, I guess we know where to go next. Investigate Nuncreed's drugstore. Alrighty, off we go. Uh-oh. What is she doing over here? You scared me half to death. Sorry. You kids haven't seen Mr. Tolliver around, have you? Nope. He's got me waiting around like the last slice of pie. I swear that man would be late to his own funeral. Huh, okay. No one's awake. Oh boy. You're late, Augustus. Sorry, sister. Was caught up with work. Work? You. I had a few more details to lock down for the festival. Oh, what do you have to report? What is this Inspired Town festival really about?
Gus looked around nervously.
I think Mr. Kerr really does just want to do something good for the town. He's actually a pretty nice guy. You should spend some time with him. I didn't pull strings installing you as mayor so that you can make friends. Your job is to help me figure out what Kerr and Perennial Harvest's true intentions are with this town. We have a responsibility. This is our father's town. Was. Excuse me. This was our father's town. Dang. He's gone, Eris, and he isn't coming back. Father left us with nothing but problems. Mr. Kerr came here and offered to help us. We accepted that help. We didn't agree to them turning Father's warehouse into a toxic dumping ground. That is just a temporary arrangement. The glow can be seen from our damn backyard. They are dumping their nasty little secrets on us. When all this inevitably goes wrong, who do you think will be blamed?
Eris's cry hung in the air.
We have a new choice to make now, sister. This town is going to change, whether we like it or not. Are we going to choose to be a part of that future, or be forgotten in the past? It's a shame, Father named you Augustus, but you will always just be a Gus. Good night, Eris. I'll see you at breakfast tomorrow. What a lovely family. Oh, great heavens. It's getting late, children. Where are you going? Your house is the other way. Wait a minute. Is there anyone up here? We better go to Nuncreed's. Okay. Can we talk to the teacher? Knowledge, he spat with a sneer. There's exists a gulf between knowing something and being able to do a damn thing about it. Huh. I do hate it when the villain makes a good point. Anyone down here? Nope. How about the diner? Is the news reporter girl there? No, she's not. Okay. Oh, Solomon. What's he doing?
Solomon stood proudly at the entrance to the drugstore, holding a brown bag overflowing with black licorice.
Ew. Hey, Solomon. We're looking for Mr. Nuncreed. Is he still in there? I'm afraid not. Then where'd you get the candy from? You might say we have an arrangement.
Solomon shoveled a surprising amount of licorice into his mouth.
Ew. Sometimes it's the small pleasures in life. Though we might not always have family to rely on. Licorice has never let me down. Well, I can't say licorice would be my first choice. But whatever floats your boat. You can tell a lot about a person by their choice of confection. Oh yeah, I guess. I like sour gobs. I'm certain you do. I always wondered why Mr. Nuncreed kept licorice in stock. He must eat enough of it to make it worthwhile. There are many ways to earn loyalty. For some, it's as easy as cold, hard cash. So you paid for it? Well, he's right. It's locked. There's gotta be more clues. Okay, let's see. Oh, can we go in this alley? No. Have you ever seen anyone actually use this thing? Besides Mr. Nuncreed, no.
Beck cupped her hands on the glass to peek inside.
That is not a normal phone booth. It's got like a blinky keypad. Why would there be a blinky keypad? Kren's Nudge Drugstore. I mean, underground secrets. The
Beck
password.
flung open the door and they all squeezed in.
Oh boy. Alright, let's see here.
Luca cracked his knuckles and entered the letters into the keypad.
Underground secrets. Sounds like that did something. Great, now what? I guess
The
we...
inside of
Uh-oh.
the phone booth dropped loose from its shell.
Oh no.
Without even the space to panic, they closed their eyes, held their breath, and accepted their fate. Suddenly, the chaotic descent slowed to an effortless landing. It was unclear where they ended up, but at least it was solid ground. The air
What
was
the heck?
stagnant and smelled vaguely of chlorine.
I knew it. You knew that there was a secret hub full of strained tubes under the phone booth? Of course I did. Didn't I say that? No. I definitely thought it. Luca, do you remember when I said how cool it would be if the trans-dimensional conduits from Hank Atomic issue number 12 were real? Rollo, at one point or another, you said that about every technology ever discussed in Hank Atomic. That's why I'm such a good predictor. It looks like each of these has something written on them. we go back up? Oh no, we can't. What is this? This suit has a broken mask. So, have we found our mystery warehouse creeper? We've at least found their hazmat suit. If it walks like a Nuncreed and talks like a Nuncreed, let's not jump to conclusions. Just saying. Dun dun dun. Okay, what does the first one say? Mining Operations Alpha. You guys have mines here? Not that I know of. This town is all farms and fertilizer. And a series of tubes. Pa always says you can only trust a miner up to the point when they hit gold. Not sure how that wisdom applies in this exact situation. That's the thing about Pa, you don't always realize what he means until it's too late. Perennial Harvest main office. That's where my mom works. What does she do? Science stuff. Is she involved in all this? We just moved here. How could she be involved? True. Valentine Fertilizer Warehouse. Isn't that where you almost got snatched? Yeah. Why would Perennial Harvest have a tube going to the old Valentine place? This is starting to feel like something big. It's always been big. What do you mean? That's a lot of buttons. Stand aside, Earthlings. I've read enough Hank Atomic to know my way around sci-fi tech.
Those hands hovered over the field of blinking buttons.
Uh-oh. Eeny, meeny, miny. Uh-oh. Rolo, what did you do? Nothing. I didn't even mow yet. What was that? Hide. Where? There's nothing but weird tubes down here. Just get back. Oh. Shit. 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 Awesome. You all need to come with me now. We aren't going anywhere with you. Not until we get some answers. Mr. Underground's secrets. I told them it was an absurd password, but they love anything that makes them feel clever. They who? That's no matter. If I can keep you hidden until after the festival, I might be able to save your skins. We don't care about our skins. Hold on now, I like my skin. This all stops now, Nuncreed.
Joseph waited for a moment in silence.
You sound just like him. Who? Walt. You don't get to talk about my dad. You know, your father and I were friends back before.
He gestured toward the strange tubes.
All of this. That's a lie. It's true, I used to bounce you on my knee. What happened? Same thing that always happens. Reality, complications, life. We were a team, Walt and I. An idealistic doctor and a bright-eyed pharmacist. Both hell-bent on helping folks. So you were his sidekick? No. We were partners. He helped the patients and I helped him. Yep, total sidekick.
Nuncreed let out a growl of a sigh.
Luca, I need you to know this. I need someone to know this. One day, Sharper Valentine came to us. Says he's got an opportunity. He found something he didn't quite understand. And he was willing to pay us both handsomely to help him understand it. And my dad said no. Your father and I both believed in helping people. But the thing I could never get him to understand was It's a lot easier to help others if you help yourself now and then. Classic sidekick into villain plotline. Walt loved being righteous almost more than he loved his family. He was wrong about one thing, though. When he begged me not to take Valentine's offer, he said, "Joseph, if a person says yes one time to Sharper Valentine, he'll make sure they keep on saying yes to him until the day he's dead and gone."
He shook his head wistfully.
Sharper's long gone, but he's still got me saying yes. What? Is there a point to this sob story? Not really, no. Just an old man trying to delay what needs doing.
Nuncreed took a menacing step towards the children.
I tried to keep you safe. I tried to keep you and Juniper out of this. But you forced my hand.
Luca began to laugh.
What? You really don't know. My gran isn't out of this. She's been scheming right under your nose. Juniper. Seems like she's planning on crashing the town's party. She's going to disrupt the festival? Why would she?
The color drained from Nuncreed's face.
How does she know? Apparently she knows a lot of things. What? Let's just say this isn't the only underground lair we've busted into today. And honestly, hers is way cooler. She's got maps and explosives and bad intentions, big man.
Nuncreed grabbed Luca by the shoulders. His eyes were frantic.
You need to tell me what she's going to do right now. She doesn't understand what it is she's messing with. Tell me now, she's in danger, boy. I don't know. She had a map with a mark on the fountain in Town Square. The fountain? But why
A
would...
jolt of realization struck Mr. Nuncreed.
She knows about the source. What the heck is the source? If she tries to destroy the source, it could catalyze and... Dear God, she's going to freeze us all. Oh... You all need to run. Run where? Away. As far away from this town as you can get. Head west and don't look back. Oh. That did not go how I expected. So... We're totally following him, right? Totally. See you on the other side. You good? Yep. I love this town. So Grandma is the reason.
Chapter 8.
Oh boy.
The cold, hard truth. Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark. Dimness eclipsed around her like the shutter of a camera as she seemed to cover great distance in mere moments. Her only points of reference were glints of upcoming turns, which approached with frightening speed, only to carom her gracefully along. She heard the tinny, distant echoes of Rollo's glee. Once she stopped fighting against it, the ride was impossibly smooth. Then, all of a sudden, as if minutes had passed in an instant, light blazed into view. A burst of wintry air snuffed across her face, and she was flung out into the cold.
That was intense. Yeah. I think I might have partied with some fluids in there. Ew. Any idea where we are? Somewhere cold. Doesn't look like it's got on any of us. It didn't feel like we traveled that far. So where did it all go? This place sucks. Why would anyone even want to blow something up out here? Only one way to find out, I suppose. We've got to catch up to Nuncreed. I think he went this way. Catch up to Mr. Nuncreed. Okay, but what's over here? Oh. Literally nothing. What the heck? Is there anything on this side? No, okay. What the? No way. This looks familiar, yeah? Maybe we can clear off the snow. No time. Nuncreed's getting away. Oh wait, can we go down here then? No, we can't. Okay, this is starting to feel really familiar. I may not be the most well-versed on all this Beacon Pines, but this does look like some sort of frozen replica of the town. Ah, I got it. It's so obvious now. Mr. Nuncreed is an alien. Neurolo. Stick with me here. His species can only live in sub-zero temperatures. Oh boy, here we go. The source is their base camp dimension, so naturally they keep it cold. We found it by traveling through those metallic wormholes back there. The final objective: kill us all and shapeshift into Beacon Pine citizens of their choosing. You never really had me, but you very much lost me there. You get used to it. We shouldn't keep moving. Alright. Ooh, wait. This path down here isn't blocked. Can we go down here? Damn, no.
As they rounded the corner to the frozen town square, they spotted Mr. Nuncreed inching cautiously toward a pit at its center.
Oh my god.
He held his arms out gingerly, as if approaching a beast in the wild. Upon closing the distance, Luca recognized what Nuncreed was after. Gran stood confidently at the edge, one arm outstretched over the abyss. Nearby, a wheelbarrow had been emptied out. She held a lit torch, which flickered in the bitter wind.
Oh my god, what's gonna happen? Juniper, I don't know what you think you're doing, but I assure you this is not going to solve anything. If you drop that, you've doomed this whole town. Oh, it wasn't me who doomed this town. I've been watching you, Joseph. I know what you've done. You and your co-conspirators. Gran, what's happening? Luca, you and your friends need to leave right this moment.
Mr. Nuncreed turned back toward the kids, desperation in his eyes.
Listen to your grandma, Luca. This is between me and Juniper.
Rollo and Beck held steadfast in awe. Luca approached closer. Mr. Nuncreed spun back toward Gran, his voice growing louder.
You've got it all wrong, Juniper. Just hand over that torch. You don't understand what you're doing. How could I possibly trust you to do the right thing? Walt told me everything. He trusted you, and you betrayed that trust. Luca, did you know that this man's entire life is a lie? If it weren't for him, your father might still be alive.
Mr. Nuncreed winced with anguish. His voice hardened.
That's not
They
true.
both now yelled, not to each other, but at fate itself, making their peace with long-held burdens. The wind howled with encouragement.
Walt was like a brother to me. We just had different ideas about how to effect change. Very convenient that your way just happens to line your pockets. Now that's not
They
fair.
menaced at each other, both catching their breath. The moment balanced on a knife's edge. Amid a blur of emotions and memories, Luca's mind flooded with questions. The wind calmed, as if to give him the stage.
And in the stillness, he began to weep.
And in the stillness, he began to weep. It was all just too much. Falling to his knees, Luca whimpered softly. The tears crystallized as they hit the snow. Gran stared at Luca for a moment with warm sympathy, remembering why this was all necessary.
This all makes sense soon, Luca. Then everything can go back to normal. I promise.
She stiffened up and brandished the torch at Mr. Nuncreed.
You can't hide behind those people any longer, Joseph. Once their precious source is destroyed, we'll see where their loyalties fall. Juniper, don't.
Ignoring his final plea, Gran flung the torch into the deep darkness. She smiled and exhaled in relief. Mr. Nuncreed moaned in resignation. The torch echoed as it ricocheted down the hole, punctuated with a thunderous thud.
You see, Joseph, I've learned one very important lesson in life. If you want things to change, then you must be willing to.
Before Gran could finish, the ground shook her to silence.
Bruh.
Gran only had time to spin around and run to Luca. Her attempt to shield him, an honorable but trifling act. Unflinching love, pitted against an unthinking horror, there was no contest. Her warm embrace froze in an instant. That is where they remain, fixed in place, forever. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a town brought low by its secrets, sits the frozen statues of a misguided band of meddlers. The end. Well, that was dire. On the bright side, we finally figured out where all the ice is coming from. Now, we just need to find a way to deal with a mystic, unfathomable force of nature.
Okay, so the only other thing that's like, oh well, there's this one thing seen back here. Tickle. We'll try running away. Flight.
Drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left. Flight. He squinted down the barrel of the mission control defense cannon, aiming it through an opening in the dense tree branches. He looked up with surprise as it struck true and taut.
Wow, I can't believe that worked. Hey, Mr. Kerr. We love to hear your thoughts, but I'm afraid we have places to be. Come on, Iggy. See ya, jerks. Fine. We know where that leads them. This way, we'll take the tunnels.
Luca and Iggy winced as they sprinted through the thicket. The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage. After what felt like a marathon, Luca stopped in his tracks as they reached the clearing. What the? That was all he was able to say before Iggy slammed into his back. The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice. In fact, it was ice. Chapter 5. Signs. They stood silently, catching their breath. The sky was like sapphire. With each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luca's lungs. Let's keep moving. Luca pulled Iggy to his feet as they gazed across a snowy terrain.
Oh, right here. That was actually pretty badass. Uh-huh. I think we lost them. Are we up in the mountains? I don't think so. If anything, we went downhill. Then what's up with the Winter Wonderland? All I know is there's no going back the way we came. Let's see if we can get our bearings. Follow me. Find a way home, okay? Isn't this technically our home? Luca? Luca, are you there?
Luca had almost forgotten the walkie-talkie he was carrying.
Is that Bozo Kerr? I hope nothing bad has happened to you out in those
Luca
woods.
looked at Iggy with hesitation.
No need to be
With a
rude.
resigned sigh, Luca responded.
It seems like the only dangerous thing in the woods is you. He speaks, the young man of the hour. Now, how in tarnation did you end up with one of our radios? Just lucky, I guess. Boy, howdy, you Van Horns are full of surprises, aren't you? You knew my parents? I never had the honor of meeting your father, but your mom sure was a handful.
Luca winced, shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket.
We gotta keep moving. Is there anything here now? No? Okay. What about the tunnel?
A disc of smooth metal was lightly covered in snow. Two faint seams were visible along the surface.
A manhole cover? If it is, I've never seen one like it before. Uh-oh. What's the readout? Sitting just about 258 Kelvin. That's down a bit from last time. Should we report this to Mr. Kerr? Meh, still within safe ranges. It may be spreading, but it's under control for now. Even a small nudge in the equilibrium could cause a cascade. Dude, relax. Just a few more sites to hit before we can punch out. Let's get this over with. What's all this? Hard to say with all this snow. I think it's a town sign. I can almost make out letters under there. What town could this even be? There couldn't be another town this deep in Weep Wood. I'm looking at evidence to the contrary. Let's figure out what we're dealing with here. Step 1, snow's gotta go. I'll see what I can do.
The boys stared in disbelief at the sign that now clearly read, "Welcome to Beacon Pines."
This doesn't make any sense. We're in Beacon Pines. How's that possible? We ran away from town. How did we get back here? I guess we got turned around. Where did all this snow come from? Well, it's been colder than normal lately. There's a pretty big difference between sweater weather and this Arctic hellscape. The puddle we fought up before, it was cold too. Maybe all of it leads to one source. You think it's related? What the hell is going on? We're gonna get you some answers. Let's keep moving. Oh wait, there's caution tape right here. This stuff looks familiar to you? It looks like the barrel near the puddle I, shoved me into? Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh. It's all frozen.
Looking down at the frozen stream, Luca could faintly see a school of minnows encased in the ice.
Whatever happened here, it happened fast. The fish didn't even have time to run. Or, you know, swim run.
The crunching of footsteps trailing Luca went hush. He looked back to see Iggy's face twisted with confusion.
Everyone's gone. What? There's nothing here but more snow. There must be an explanation for all this. We have to keep looking. You can look all you want. I quit. Iggy, we have to keep going. You don't get it, do you? This isn't one of your pathetic Hank Atomic stories. We aren't going to save the day. We aren't even going to save ourselves. My face is mangled. The town is destroyed, and everyone we've ever known is gone. You don't know that. You can't just quit. Do whatever you want. I'm done. Iggy, it's gonna be okay.
Luca peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry. Seeing Iggy in such a pathetic state gave Luca a sense of compassion, and more than a little guilt.
It is getting pretty late, I think. Probably not a great idea to stumble around in the dark anyway.
Luca allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy.
Let's just rest for a
The boys
bit.
huddled together for warmth and comfort. If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense of the events of the day. As it was, all they had energy for was to sit in silence, numb.
Oh. The way the snow covered everything over. It's kinda calming. Yeah. I haven't had time to say it, but thanks. Huh? For getting us away from those creeps. I sort of froze up back there. Iggy, I should be the one apologizing. This all happened because I lost my temper. Nah, that's bull hockey. First of all, you didn't know what that gunk would do. You didn't, right? Of course not. And second, stop with this baloney about losing your temper. But I did lose my
Iggy
temper.
motioned sarcastically to his half-deformed face.
Obviously. But that's exactly what you should have done. Huh? I was being a horse's ass. You were supposed to be a horse's ass in response. That's how it works. Iggy, I'm having a hard time following. You wanted me to fight you? Of course. Geez, you goody-goody types take forever to understand this very basic point. Why would you go around saying cruel things trying to get into
Iggy
fights?
shrugged.
It's something to do, bruh. You're an asshole because you're bored? Sometimes I just feel empty. You wouldn't understand. You and Rolo are always having a blast together. Laughing and calling that dinky little tree house mission control.
Iggy now wept openly.
Perfect little Luca Van Horn. With his perfect little life. My life is not perfect. Everybody in town likes you. Not everybody. Hell, that new girl hasn't even unpacked yet and she already likes you. You have
He wiped
Tish.
his nose with a sleeve.
I love Tish. Tish is great. But she ain't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist, you know?
Luca gave a warm chuckle.
I get that
Iggy
impression.
cleared his throat as he wiped his eyes.
Huh, it must be raining out here.
Iggy
Definitely.
arched into a wide yawn.
We probably should try to get some sleep. Yeah. Let's lay low for now. Tomorrow we'll get to the bottom of all
Luca's
this.
eyelids began to slowly drift shut.
Luca? Yeah? I always did want to see the inside of your dinky little treehouse. What do you think? Not bad. I'll give you the full tour when we get back. You know what?
That's
Huh?
all Luca could whisper before succumbing to sleep. Iggy snuggled in some more.
When it comes to worst days of my entire life, this one wasn't half bad.
The house smelled of warm bread. Luca was playing with toy blocks on the living room rug. He looked up to see his parents on the couch. His mother held his father's head in her lap. She idly stroked his hair while humming a song. A voice behind Luca spoke. "This is how you remember them, huh?" Luca turned to see his own face, the doppelganger from his dreams, still clad in a yellow hazmat suit, still carrying a look of disdain behind empty eyes. Aww, look at this perfectly cozy scene. You know it wasn't really like this. The figure picked up a toy block and inspected it. It's amazing the facades that one can build given the right materials. Not that I blame us. These are a child's memories, all warm and fuzzy. You don't remember, do you? Lucas snatched the block from the figure's yellow-gloved hand. Remember what? The doppelganger pointed to the couch. The last day we saw him alive. The day he chose to abandon us. Luca turned to look at his father, still lounging on the couch. That's not true. He didn't abandon us. The doppelganger waved his hand dismissively. Everything is true here. It's just a matter of what we choose to see. Well, let me show you. The world flickered and pulsed. Luca was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes. The doppelganger limped into the room. No, we both know that's not how this went. He grabbed Luca's hand and guided the stethoscope to the floor. Luca heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope. It was his parents. Do you remember what we did next? Luca gave a slow nod and crept down the hall to peek through the banister. He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this. She was scared. His father stepped forward. What am I supposed to do? Just watch? There's a sickness in this town, and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help people. I won't turn my back on them. Luca's mother grabbed Walt. She was crying, pleading. I can't lose you. Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. I could never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this. Eleanor raised her voice. Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about our son? Luca flinched, dropping the stethoscope down the stairs. Walt turned with a panicked smile. Luca, is that you, buddy? With tears in his eyes, Luca descended the stairs. Mom? Dad? What's going on? Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luca eye to eye. Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all. Luca placed the stethoscope against his father's chest. His heart was racing. It sounded like you were going somewhere? Walt gently removed the device from Luca's ears. Listen to me, Luca. I have some business to take care of. I'll be back in time to tuck you in. Luca hugged his father tightly. Promise? Walt stood up and walked to the door. He glanced over his shoulder. I promise. With a wink and a grin, he put on his hat and strode out into the evening sun. A figure approached soundlessly from the foggy snowfall. It stood above them, lingering in contemplation. Slowly raising one hand above Iggy, it snapped out 2 brisk raps on his head. From a deep slumber, Iggy sprang up defensively.
Get your hands off me.
Whether it was the calming presence or the recognition that he was not in danger, Iggy felt his clenched fists lower.
Just what do you think you're doing?
Luca looked up, gradually remembering his whereabouts. The figure exhaled a cloud of warm vapor.
You two certainly have caused a lot of commotion. What's that supposed to mean? Take it easy, Iggy. We were asleep, minding our own business. You're the one running around knocking on people's heads. I'm sorry if I hurt you, Iggy. You didn't hurt nobody. Anybody. Huh? Oh, I see. You think you're better than me.
When it came to complete strangers, Iggy had trouble cobbling together an insult.
You big-hatted, scarfy-necked furball. Uh-huh. Okay, let's lower the temperature a bit here. Interesting choice of words. I mean, let's just all calm down. Who are you? A friend. An observer. A hitchhiker on the infinite expanse of possibility. Great, how about a name? If you must call me something, you could call me Nat.
Iggy huffed with gratification.
How about you make like a gnat and buzz off? Very
Nat
well.
began to turn away indifferently.
Wait, do you live here? You might say that, so you know where we are. You might also say that. Look, pal, we just want to find a safe way out of here. You gonna help us or not? Before knowing how to leave, one must know where they are. Alright, that does it. Luca, I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here, one way or another.
Iggy turned sharply and began to stomp off.
Oh boy. Enough with the riddles. Iggy, wait up.
Realizing he'd worn their patience then, Nat relented.
Very well, I suppose this isn't the first time for metaphors. I'll show you how to get back
Luca
home.
and Iggy turned around with hope in their eyes.
Come here.
Nat took a deep breath in.
Close your eyes.
Nat exhaled slowly, then snapped his fingers.
Okay, open them.
For a brief moment, Luca and Iggy let themselves believe that some great magic was about to unfold, until they opened their eyes and found themselves in the exact same place, cold and disheartened.
This is your home. This is Beacon Pines. Look, Nat, we don't know how we got here. Maybe we stumbled through some time travel gate in Wheatwood, or we teleported to some alternate universe, or this is all just some cruel experiment by Kerr and his goons. But this is not our home. You're inching closer to the truth. Alas, the reality is much less fanciful. Just give it to us straight. So be it. As I said, this is Beacon Pines. The original, true Beacon Pines. Oh. What? You both grew up here, but the town you've called your home for the past several years is a replica. A remarkable achievement of engineering, to be fair, but a replica nonetheless. That's impossible. It's too much work. You need a whole town to replicate a whole town. Indeed, to pull off such a feat would require immense labor power. That which could be moved would be moved. That which could not would require a precise duplicate. We would have noticed. Someone would have noticed. You'd think so, unless the auditing was impeccable. A mind-numbing attention to detail. As for the innumerable trivialities which complete the tapestry, well, you can leave that to this miraculous thing we call a brain. It has a real aversion to discontinuity, a revolution even. The brain has a wonderful way of smoothing out the rough edges, keeping us sane. Lucky and Iggy looked around uncomfortably. So you're saying that someone made an entire new town and moved us all and no one noticed? Precisely. But why? Why is the one question that can never be answered with certainty. The best one can do is
Nat
uncover.
narrowed his eyes, furrowed his brow, and uttered,
The source. Why'd you say the source like that? Why
Luca
indeed?
began to laugh uncomfortably.
It's all ridiculous. There's no way they
He
could.
looked down at his feet. His eyes started back and forth in contemplation. With a sudden pain, a thought struck him.
If this really is home.
He sprinted off into the pale distance. As
Oh.
Iggy turned to follow, Nat called out,
Iggy, it's not too late to turn back. Simply head west through Weepwood.
Chapter 6. The Source. Nat expressed his sympathy with a shrug and sauntered off as unassumingly as he'd arrived. He'd given Luca and Iggy what they needed, and nothing more. As Luca sprinted across the snow, the events of the past few days became clearer, pieces to a larger puzzle. Rollo said he was underground somewhere, captured. Mr. Kerr tried to cover it up with lies. The clipboards were hell-bent on capturing Iggy. It all seemed to point to Perennial Harvest. But right now, there was one thing that Luca needed to know. Luca stopped dead in his tracks. The tree was gone, uprooted and moved, leaving a raw gash in the earth. He dropped to his knees and dug wildly at the cold snow. His numb hands hit something hard, a headstone. A dry whisper escaped Luca's lips.
You're here. All this time I thought I was visiting you. But you've been here, alone, in the snow. Dad, I'm so sorry. They ruined your favorite spot in the world. Our favorite spot in the world. Dad, what do I do?
There was no reply, just snow-covered silence.
Why'd you give me the slip like that? What if I couldn't find you, you
Iggy
jerk?
finally noticed the tears welling in Luca's eyes and the snow-covered grave.
Oh. Iggy, they stole his tree, Iggy. Yikes.
Suddenly, they heard the crunch of approaching footsteps in the snow.
We gotta hide. $259K. Fall off distance is still good. Dude, did you hear me? I said 259. Sorry. You ever think about what we did here? We saved a whole town of people. Doesn't feel like it sometimes. What about everything we left behind? That's the grave of someone with a family. The people who love them will never know the truth. The truth is
He
overrated.
bent down to scoop up a snowball and lobbed it playfully.
Hey, don't be such a downer, dude. We took this job to change the world. Yeah, come on. It's almost lunchtime. Why are they walking like that? Haha, weirdo. Here I thought I was a jerk. These dinguses are out here literally dancing on
Luca
graves.
stuttered through heaving sobs.
I thought I was visiting him. I thought he was with me. Not gonna lie, that's a bad break. Here's some
Iggy
advice.
gave Luca a solid smack on the back of his head.
Damn. Hey. Who's any of this helping? What? Sitting here in the snow, crying like some pushover. Who ya helping? Iggy, look what they did. They lied to everyone. Blah, blah, blah. Luca Van Horn, you're a lot of things, but you ain't no pushover. What did I tell ya before? When some jerk comes at ya acting like a horse's ass, I should stand up for myself. Hell yeah. Her and his merry little band of clipboards pull off the switcheroo for a reason, right? Nat mentioned something about a
Luca
source.
wiped his eyes with a sleeve.
Whatever at the source must be awfully valuable to Perennial Harvest. Sure would be a shame if something unfortunate were to happen to their precious source, wouldn't it? What do you have in mind? If it's small enough to steal, we snatch. If it's too big to snatch, we smash it. And what if it's too big to
Iggy
smash?
flashed a mischievous smile and cracked his knuckles.
I'm always up for a challenge. I'm gonna make this right, Dad. I promise. Let's do this. Locate the source. Well, we already know where it is. It can get awful cold out there in those woods, Luca. Probably best you two stay put and conserve your energy. Help's on the way. Where's Rollo? Where's my mom? Did you kill her? Oh heavens no, do I seem like a killer to
Iggy
you?
and Luca shared a skeptical look.
Well, do I? Ah, shucks, now that hurt my feelings. Screw that guy. Wait a minute. If this is the original town, then that means...
Iggy darted behind a large pine and began digging furiously. He emerged holding a shoebox with a crude skull painted on its lid.
What's that? Long story. So a few years back, I, came into possession of some premium grade fireworks. Not the wimpy firecracker stuff they gave kids. The good stuff. So why did you bury it under a tree? That's a long part of the story. You and Rolo were doing chores at Rolo's chicken coop, and you guys pissed me off for some reason or another.
Luca rolled his eyes with realization.
No, you didn't.
Iggy stifled a chuckle.
Yep. I just wanted to give you guys a little scare. But like I said, these were some primo fireworks. So I might have underestimated things. You blew up the chicken coop. I prefer to think of it as an incendiary redecoration. Sorry, but you should have seen the looks on your faces. Rolo got grounded for months, which is why I needed to stash the evidence and lay low. So I buried him under that tree. But when I came back for him later, they were gone. I figured some grown-ups found him and tossed
Iggy
them.
triumphantly raised the shoebox.
Turns out it wasn't the fireworks that got moved. It was us. Unbelievable. Great, here's a box of fireworks. Do you think this is a game? Newsflash, boyo. You're not a hero. You're a little brat who is in way over his head. A hero is just someone who refuses to give up. Comics these days are rotting children's brains. Everyone thinks they're a spaceman superhero. I was always partial to Hank Atomic myself. Is that so? Do you really think you have a chance against us? You have no idea how powerful we are. Prepare for blast off, loser. Bruh. The source.
Luca and Iggy inched up to the edge of the hole with bewilderment in their eyes. Arctic air breathed out of the cavern in heaving gusts.
Echo, 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 echo. Whoa. I can see why they wanted to move us all out of town now. But why would they dig a giant hole? I think this is it. This is the source? It's a dang hole. How do we smash a hole? Oh boy. Oh, it's much more than that, my annoying little friend. Kerr. Where's Rolo? I wasn't lying before. He's safe. Well, safer than you two, at least. Drats, it's cold. You just had to drag me all the way out here, didn't you?
Mr. Kerr gazed down the abyss in contemplation.
Is it really something, isn't it? What did you do to our town? What is all of this? Well, that's a doozy of a question. This is the source where they collect the unrefined,
Kerr scratched the back of his head.
Honestly, boys, I don't understand any of this well enough to explain it. Fact of the matter is, I'm not paid to know. What do you mean you don't know? Ain't you in charge? Oh heavens no, my role is merely to flash a winning smile and manage various complications. Complications like us? You are a smart boy.
His face contorted into a saccharine grin.
It really is nothing personal. Some people are destined to strive for greatness, and others are simply obstacles along the way. Seems like you were destined to be a creepy lackey. The point is that we all play our part in life. Mine just happens to be a lead in the role of a lifetime. And you happen to be extras ready for your curtain call. We aren't giving up without a fight. Your smile's not going to be so winning after we're done with you. Now boys, there's no need for melodrama. It makes even a professional such as myself embarrassed for you. Let's change the mood a
Kerr
bit.
snapped his fingers.
Scene change. Oh boy. There, that's better. Deal with them.
Iggy turned to Luca with a sly glance.
Why are you smirking? Because I have a box full of fireworks and you don't.
Iggy waved the box into the air, threatening to drop it down the hole.
Stop. Let's not do something regrettable. Joke's on you, regret is one of my specialties. Out of curiosity, what would happen if I threw these in your precious hole? Nothing. Nothing at all. You're a terrible liar. I'll have you know, I am an exceptional liar. Bup, that's far enough.
Iggy plucked a single bottle rocket from the box and held it up with reverence.
Stop, you fool. Call off your goons.
After a long pause, Mr. Kerr flung up his hand with frustration.
Very well. You all can head back for the night. It's been a long day. I'll handle these two from here. I thought
Mr.
walking
Kerr
backwards.
sighed into the frigid air.
It's just us now, Iggy. He can put that down. What, like
With a
this?
nonchalant flick, Iggy tossed the firework into the hole.
Oh no. Ooh. Whoa.
With a growl, Kerr leapt at Iggy, crashing through.
Damn.
Iggy tried to twist away, but in the struggle they both tumbled over the side. Luca dove forward, bracing Iggy's hand just before it slipped. His grip was made precarious by the cold, wet snow. He could see Kerr further down, clinging to Iggy's coat.
You reckless child. What have you done? Luca, listen to me. Hold on tight and use the walkie-talkie to call them back. What channel do I use? It doesn't make a damn difference. They're always listening. If you do that, the clipboards will just haul us up and snag us both. The only way you get out of this is if Kerr's out of the picture. Just let go and save yourself. If he lets go, we both die. I don't want to die, but seeing the look on your face almost makes it worth it. Mr. Kerr, you've had a long life. Why don't you actually do something selfless and just let go?
Mr. Kerr gasped with insult.
Long life? I'll have you know I can still play 25. You should have heard me sing the part of Phyllis
With a
Young.
wild look in his eye, Mr. Kerr began to hum a proud melody.
Dum dum dum. Rippity dum dum. Wow, can you believe this guy?
Luca's hand began to cramp. His voice began to crack.
Kerr, just let go. No can do. If you want to save your friend, you'll have to save me too. Luca, look at me. It's okay.
Luca felt Iggy loosen his grasp.
You aren't going to kill your friend like that, are you?
Every muscle in Luca's body burned.
I'm not his friend. Yes, you are. Nah, I'm just a no-good bully. Like you, Kerr. Iggy, no.
Luca felt his hand slipping.
And I told you what you need to do with bullies. I can't. It's your only way out of this mess. Two birds with one stone. It makes sense for us to fall together. Wackadoos travel in packs.
Calm settled over Iggy's face.
Luca, let me do
Iggy's
this.
voice was colder than the bitter air billowing from the chasm.
Let me do the right thing for once. Luca had no choice but to Iggy's quest. Refuse. Accept. What if we refuse?
Luca had no choice but to refuse Iggy's request. He tightened his grip and reached for the walkie-talkie in his pocket. A wild delight crept onto Mr. Kerr's face. That's a good lad. Now, radio for help. Iggy begged Luca with his eyes one last time, but Luca pressed the button and called out. We need help. Mr. Kerr is in danger. It wasn't long before they were once again surrounded by clipboards. Mr. Kerr sighed with relieved frustration. There you are. You really are a worthless lot, aren't you? Mirror, now. A clipboard dutifully produced an ornate ivory hand mirror, and Mr. Kerr began preening his tousled hair. Ah, that's better. Mr. Van Horn, I applaud your sharp thinking under duress. I'll put in a good word for you with the founder. Take them away. A swarm of hands overpowered Luca. The last thing he saw before a cloth bag was pulled over his head was the defeated look on Iggy's face. The end. I think this was one of those times where doing the right thing was the wrong thing.
Okay, fine then. We'll just have to drop him.
Luca had no choice but to accept Iggy's request. With a quiet blink, Luca watched a teardrop sail down into the howling void. As his fingers slowly gave up, he met eyes with Iggy.
Good. Oh my god.
The two silhouettes were swallowed by darkness.
Not the fireworks. Jesus, I mean, that's one way to go. Hell of a goodbye, Iggy. Luca, you should really step back. What? Quickly. Oh. Curious. Ah, but of course. Those fireworks of Iggy must have been just the right amount of energy. We should get out of here before perennial harvest arrives. Not until you tell me what just happened. Your friend's sacrifice just saved this town. For a little while, anyway. How? Tempus liquidamine is a peculiar substance. It can change the relationship between matter and time itself, but doing so requires unfathomable energy. In a closed system, that energy can only come from its surroundings, a useful side product of this property being. By adding precisely the correct amount of energy to it, one can create a cryogenic cascade. So the gunk makes things cold and the fireworks made the whole freeze over? That's one way of putting it, yes. As dumb luck would have it, the fireworks weren't strong enough to generate a runaway reaction. I shudder to think what would have happened in that case.
We have some idea what that would look like.
Yeah. It would take them a good while to safely break through and access the source again. If you know all this stuff, why haven't you been helping? I have been, in my way. Each one of us has our role to play. Iggy's role, it turns out, was to buy us precious time. Mine has been to observe and wait. Wait for what? You. Me? Why? What's my role?
A fierce twinkle flashed in Nat's eyes.
Luca Van Horn, you are going to save the world.
With a chuckle, Nat turned and walked west. Dumbfounded, Luca followed behind him, trudging through the snow. Every step taking him further away from everyone and everything he knew, and closer to destiny. To be continued in Beacon Pines, Pines Harder.
What?
Revenge served cold. Second time's a charm? Wait, that's it? This ends with a crummy cliffhanger just when it was getting good? I was even starting to like Iggy. No way. I refuse to be associated with some never-ending parade of sequels. Let's go back and find something more definitive.
Huh. Okay. Do we have any other new options available? Fire Night Hum for that. No. You know what? We'll go back to the question mark over the tickle. Skip to where you left off.
Chapter
Okay.
4. The best policy. Luca paused for a moment, catching his breath. He'd only just met Beck, and somehow he already managed to drag her into this mess. Hopefully he could make it up to her. But finding Rollo was his primary concern.
Okay, so we're trying to go this way, right? No. Trying to go up here. Property of Valentine Fertilizer Company. Looks old. We can't go up there. Okay. Luca, what the hell are you doing out here? And why did a kid with gray hair just run past us in a panic?
Roxy and Fitz looked drained. It was clear they'd spent all day searching.
That's Beck. I don't care who she is. What happened? We were just helping looking for Rollo. Luca, I need you to start telling me the truth.
Roxy's temper could often be dismissed as the impatience of an older sibling. But this was the most intense Luca had ever seen her.
Okay, yeah, no, I don't think this happened before.
Her eyes were wild and unfocused, looking straight through Luca.
We're running out of
In
time.
a torrent of rambled words and tears, Luca broke down.
Rollo and I weren't just playing in Weepwood yesterday. We were investigating lights at the old Valentine warehouse. But someone was there in a strange suit. And we hid in the dumpster and had a heavy bag dropped on us. And I think it was a body. And so we ran, but we got split up. And I ran home. And it's all my fault. And now my best friend may never come back. Wow. Just wow.
Roxy, still exhausted and angry, softened briefly as her eyes hunted the ground in thought. With a determined sigh, she looked up at Luca.
It's not your fault, Luca. Rollo's gonna be okay, I promise.
Roxy drew herself up.
I'm gonna fix this. Luca, go home. But I wanna help. This is too dangerous for a kid. I can't just sit around, I have to do something.
Roxy tried to think of the safest place to send Luca.
You go back to the little tree house you two like to play in. Wait there in case Rollo shows up. Sound like a
Luca
plan?
wiped his cheeks and gave a quick nod.
You did the right thing telling me the truth. Now scoot. You really believe his story? What other option do we have? Things have been strange around here leading up to the festival. My dad has been acting weird lately. Well, weirder than normal.
Looking into the puddle, Roxy rubbed her arms to warm up.
Who the heck is her dad? Why is it so cold here? This place gives me the willies. Wait at the treehouse in case Rollo shows up. Okay. Oh wait, can we go talk to Beck? I guess not. Okay. Oh wait, I'm pretty sure we don't even know, like, that's where she lives. None of this timeline, no.
Mr. Nuncreed jumped with a start.
Whoa, don't sneak up on an old fella like that. Sorry. Who are you talking to?
Luca
What?
motioned to the phone booth.
Oh no. I was just checking because I thought I heard it ring. But the dang thing never does, of course. Yeah, I've never seen anyone use it really. The whole thing's a waste of money if you ask me. Any word from Rollo yet? Not yet. Long time for a boy to lose his way. Rollo knows these woods too well to get lost. I suppose you're right. Silly boy's antics have this whole town worried sick. Antics? We all know Rollo likes to play his little pranks. You think this is a prank? What other possible explanation could there be? He's not playing a prank, and he didn't get lost. Someone took him. I know it. How would you know that? Unless... Luca, is there something else that you know?
Mr. Nuncreed gently placed one of his substantial hands on Luca's shoulder.
Dang it, boy, if there is something you know, something that could help your friend, you need to tell folks.
Luca peered up at Mr. Nuncreed. Kind eyes warmed a stern face. There was a deeper emotion hiding beneath it all. It was subtle, but Luca could sense something eating away at him.
Shame.
There was a shame lurking behind those eyes. A deep sadness. If Mr. Nuncreed was that worried about Rollo, maybe he could help.
Yesterday, Rollo and I were messing around at the old Valentine warehouse.
Mr. Nuncreed raised an eyebrow.
Both of you? You were with Rollo when he went missing. Not exactly. I was hiding in the dumpster. The dumpster? What were you doing in there? At first, we were just looking around. Then someone in a strange yellow suit came and dumped something on us. We both got scared and ran. That was the last I saw of him. You got scared by some garbage. Well, that's why you don't go sulking in someone's dumpster. But it wasn't garbage. I think it was a body. I'm sure it was just some trash. So was he the one in the hazmat suit? No, there was a name tag. It said Deep Engineering.
Mr. Nuncreed's shoulders slumped.
I wish he wouldn't have said that.
A deep sigh bellowed from his chest.
Why did you have to? I tried, Luca. God knows I tried to keep you safe.
Luca attempted to take a step back, but Nuncreed's hand clamped down on his shoulder.
But you Van Horns just can't help yourselves, can you? You were all so close to being done with this. What the heck does he mean by that?
With a firm shove, Nuncreed manhandled Luca into the phone booth.
Oh God. What are you doing? It's out of my hands now.
The door latched shut with a mechanical hiss.
Oh boy. Is Rollo down there? Shit.
As Luca pounded the glass, the floor dropped from under his feet. The inside of the phone booth was now a loose capsule plummeting at gravity's whim. Luca winced and pressed his hands to the walls. As he braced for impact, the capsule hurried to a surprisingly smooth stop. He felt a cold rush of air and opened his eyes with hesitance. Two large figures in hazmat suits occluded his view. Luca heard the deep, resigned voice of Mr. Nuncreed over an intercom. He knows too much. The end.
Wait, is Mr. Nuncreed working with Mr. Kerr then? Because they're using the hazmat suits as well. Because I don't think he's working with Juniper, his grandma. What the heck?
Wait. No. This isn't the end. I know there's still much more. Somehow this went wrong. Okay, let's try something else.
Okay, so now the tickle is done. We got that. Is there anything else? No. No. We gotta hum to Granny. We'll sing her a tune.
And in the stillness, he began to hum. After the death of his father, Luca had trouble sleeping. Each night, his mother would sit at the foot of his bed and hum a gentle melody. It was the only thing that could calm his mind. The only thing that, however briefly, could make it all seem okay. That melody pervaded every memory Luca had of his mother. Shivering in the raw snow, he began to hum it out loud.
I feel like this is not a good time for that. But okay. Pop off, I guess. Excuse me.
Gran lowered the torch, listening closely. As recognition slowly set in, her heart sank. Those countless nights of consolation, the incomparable loss they shared together. She let the torch fall to the snow and sizzle out. A few steps toward Luca was all she could bear before dropping to the snow herself. Through a flood of tears, she began to hum along, note for note. In astonishment. The last time he heard that melody was the last night he saw his mother.
How do you know? I'm so sorry, my little buckaroo. Buckaroo? The only people who call me that are my dad and your mother.
Luca blinked through blurry, watery eyes, trying to see more clearly. He could just make out the impression of a familiar face. He peered across the snowscape at the woman on her knees. Something about her was undeniably his mother, only smaller, older, changed.
Mom? That's right, buckaroo. What the fuck? How? I'm pretty sure she didn't, like, age that quickly. Unless it's a disguise. Mom?
Luca sprinted as fast as he could toward his mother. They held each other close, and the cold retreated from their bodies.
Eleanor? I thought you were gone. You should have known I would never abandon my son.
Eleanor looked down at Luca, tightening her embrace in an appeal for forgiveness.
How? You're a smart man, Joseph. I thought you've had pieces together by now. You were exposed. Mom, I don't understand any of this. What happened to you? Where did you go? Why did you leave me? I never left you. I was always right here, Luca. Why did you lie to me? It tore me up, Luca, but I did it to keep you safe. I thought that getting answers would help us both move on. But the more I discovered, the more I realized the danger we were in. Until perennial harvest was stopped, It was better if everyone thought I was gone. You could have trusted me. These are bad people, Luca. They won't stop until they get what they want. And they don't care who gets hurt in the process. Then, what do? We have to stop them.
Joseph slumped into the cold, wet snow.
They can't be stopped. This is too big. I tried beating them at their own game. I'm done fighting fire with
For
fire.
the first time in a long time, her voice felt like her own again.
No more lies. I see now there's a better way to stop perennial harvest. The cold, hard truth.
Luca gazed down at Nuncreed with pity. He looked small. Joseph stared into the snow, as if searching it for answers.
Come on, everyone. We got a party to crash. Guess he's just sitting there. Oh, you don't understand. He always wins. Who is he?
Chapter 9. The Devil You Know. 7 months ago. Eleanor Van Horn crept down the maze of sterile hallways under perennial harvest. She stopped in front of the large steel door marked Deep Engineering. No turning back now. She raised a trembling hand. The stolen keycard worked as promised, and the door buzzed open with mechanical efficiency. She was immediately hit with the smell of disinfectant. It was some sort of laboratory. In one corner was a desk covered in papers. Across the room stood a tall metal pod with hoses protruding from its base. She rushed to the desk and began shifting through the piles of papers. They were experiment reports on something called Tempus Liquamen. There were dozens of them, every one stamped failed. Eleanor heard the sharp echo of footsteps approaching. She was out of time. Her eyes scanned the room, eventually landing on the strange pod. Muttering a curse under her breath, she dashed over and dove inside.
Oh. That's why she looks the way she does. And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? This man is a liar. Excuse me. I will not. This town has a dangerous secret, and perennial harvest only exists to keep it hidden. Nonsense. They picked up the whole damn town and moved it right under our noses. You aren't making any sense, dear.
Mr. Kerr addressed the crowd with a sarcastic tone.
Imagine such a thing. It's absurd and just plain impossible. They promised they could fix the foul harvest. They told us they would clean up this place. We had to leave town for a few days. But while they had us evacuated, Miss Harford, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to. You're afraid of a lot of things, aren't you? You sneevling little worm. This is growing tiresome. A little help, please. Don't you all see? This festival is a sham. An excuse to have the whole town gathered in one place. They're planning something awful. I don't know what, but these people are wicked. Don't listen to her. She has absolutely no proof. I am the proof. I'm Eleanor Van Horn.
Whispers filtered through the crowd.
Well, aren't you just sneaky as the dickens? We all knew Valentine's fertilizer was too good to be true. And now this whole town is paying the price. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry about this disruption. My associates will take this obviously disturbed woman somewhere comfortable, so that she can get the help she needs. She's not the one who's disturbed. You two-timing clown. Oh boy. You all know there's something wrong with this town. It was just easier to look the other way. The truth is. What the hell? That's quite enough, Mr. Nuncreed.
Torment dragged on Joseph Nuncreed's face.
Yes, sir. Take them away. No, I want them to see this. Ah, the ever-tempestuous Eleanor Van Hoare. You've been quite the thorn in my side. Like a weed that's burrowed in where it doesn't belong. I must confess, you look
He
dreadful.
paused for a moment, plucking a piece of fuzz from his sweater and discarding it to the ground.
Wait. Could Solomon actually be Sharper? If they both went into a capsule, maybe Eleanor's was to age forward, but his was to age backward. Consider yourself in rare company. You managed to pull one over me. It won't happen again. I knew you had some plan to disrupt our little party, but alas, I expected something a bit more impressive than incoherent rambling. No matter, your failures are yours to bear. Mr. Kerr. Yes, sir. It's a shame it was cut short, but I thank you for that rousing oratory. I will take it from here. Yes, sir. Of course, sir. You have done quality work for me, William. You can look forward to the recompense we agreed on.
Kerr gave a bow of deference.
Founder, you are most gracious. He's the founder? What the fuck?
Gasps rippled through the crowd.
Thankfully, we can dispense with the formalities from here on out.
Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket. In one smooth motion, he downed its contents. A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips.
You can all call me Sharper Valentine. Bruh. I knew it.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
What the fuck? Err.
A hushed horror gripped the crowd. This is a story about change.
What? No. Oh, damn. So you didn't see that coming. Good.
Sharper examined his new hands.
Well, this is quite the improvement. Everything looks so much smaller now. Eleanor was right about one thing. The festival was a ruse. I wanted you all to witness my glorious return with your own eyes. Why does everyone look so downtrodden? This is a celebration, people. Maybe it would help if we set the mood. Mr. Kerr, be a dear and reveal the sign. What? Ah, wonderful.
Sharper choked out a crude squawk of a laugh. Frustrated grumbles sprinkled through the crowd.
Sharper, you malicious bastard. Malice, oh boy. I'm glad you're back so I can tell you to your face. You destroyed this town. We ain't gonna let you get away with it again. Sorry, this is not the time for audience participation. Some assistance, Mr. Kerr.
William Kerr gave a subtle nod to the clipboards.
You coward. Oh no. Does anyone else have something to
A
contribute?
helpless quiet settled over the crowd.
I thought so. Did you all truly believe you could be free of me? A town of complete and utter fools. You people should be celebrating my return. You're clearly lost without me. And that leads me nicely to my children. Daddy? Ew. I gave you both the greatest gift a parent can give. The opportunity to prove yourself in my absence. Squandered. To say I am disappointed would be an understatement. But Silence, Augustus. An adult is speaking. I don't know which is worse, a son who is completely hopeless, or a daughter with such potential who inevitably lets me down. Eris, you fail me with admirable consistency. Thankfully, I was counting on it this time. Father, I have been wasting time, my dear. What have you accomplished? I was focused on cementing our legacy. Legacy? Who needs a legacy when you can just live forever? But what about... It's all right, kiddo. I'm afraid you suffer from a complete lack of imagination. There's just no helping it. Now then, where is Joseph? You didn't take the opportunity to slip off, did you? Ah, there he is. Everyone should give him a hand. None of this would have been possible without Joseph. I think you've said enough. Nonsense. The people deserve to know how helpful and loyal you've been. I only did what I did because he left me no choice. He always had a choice, Joseph. You were simply too weak to take it. No matter. Cheer up. You're about to be rich beyond your wildest dreams. You should follow Mr. Kerr's example. When I found him, he was in a sorrier state than any of you. An aging actor desperate to recapture his youth. He played his part, and soon he'll be able to play the leading man again. Forever, in fact, if he remains loyal. That goes for all of you. Well, those who haven't already frittered away my goodwill. Beacon Pines is mine again, and I am willing to share its spoils in exchange for absolute loyalty. Are you saying William Kerr was never in charge of Perennial Harvest? Huh. You think that puffed up black Bathersyke could have accomplished all of this? Dawn, I suppose it's time for your big exclusive.
Sharper addressed the crowd with indignant pride. He'd planned this moment for so long that now, at the deed's fruition, it almost felt frivolous.
You see, I needed a figurehead to hold things down while I orchestrated my return. Someone to misdirect, lie, and bilk this town for a spell. So I invented William Kerr. Take your bow. You've earned
Mr.
it.
Kerr flourished a preposterously elaborate bow.
Patrick C. Montesquieu, the Spain extraordinaire at your service. Founder, I just want to thank you again for this opportunity. It truly was a role of a lifetime. Wait, so this Bill Kerr was Patsy the whole time? Now that your secret is out in the open, what's to stop this town from rising up against you? Oh, that's the delicious part. Fear. Thanks to our clipboards, I know what each and every person in this town fears the most. And I will make those fears manifest for anyone who steps out of line. The choice is simple. I'm not afraid of you. Ah, the young hero. I kept a keen eye on you, boy. You and your friends made a habit of disrupting my plans. What a pity. If things would have gone a bit differently, you might have had your moment of triumph. But that's fate for you. You can't do this. Oh, but I can. I have won. Never underestimate what a great man can do, given time. And now time is my plaything. Perhaps the most expensive thing I've ever bought. But well worth it. Ha!
Sharper coughed up one final laugh and cracked his knuckles.
Uh-oh. Enough chit-chat. Let's get to work, shall we?
And so, Sharper set about remaking the town in his own image. The fertilizer factory soon reopened for business. Sales rose steadily as more and more farmers across the countryside began to swear by its miraculous properties. Beacon Pines became famous. A secretive town that, for the right price, shared its gifts with all. Gifts that became more and more necessary in a world where winters grew longer and longer. The end. This is wrong, but things are becoming clearer now. You can feel it, right? We can't let Sharper win. He might just be the key to this whole thing. Let's see.
Oh god. Well, we did get something new. But where? Okay, that. When Nuncreed throws us into the phone booth, I guess.
There was a malice lurking behind those eyes, like a trap ready to spring. Luca felt the weight of Nuncreed's hand on his shoulder. Something wasn't right. He didn't know why, but something was telling Luca to get out of there.
I just want this to all be over. Of course, I'm sure it would all work out soon enough. I should get going. I told Roxy I'd check for Rollo at the
Luca
treehouse.
twisted free of Nuncreed's grasp.
Of course. Luca, you know your dad and I were good friends back in the day. You can come to me with anything. Anything at all. Never trust an adult. Are you going to the library? You're gonna say anything? No, they're not. Okay. Oh boy. Let's talk to the teacher first. He looked down and muttered in a gruff voice. Mama always told me my problems will look smaller once I grew up. But my problems always seem to grow right along with me. Heavens, I sense a big trouble ahead. Ma'am, don't you know it? Let's see, does Griffin say anything? Hey Griffin, has Rollo been by? Haven't seen him all day. I'm sure he'll show up safe and sound. And when he does, tell him there's a strawberry chocolate double scoop waiting for him. On the house. He'll like that. Alright, let's see what's... Actually, let me go check over here. Okay, no, never mind. The festival decorations are a bit humdrum. Now, if I were to throw a festival, it would be a thing to behold. I agree, this is all more than a little sad. It's worse than sad. It's boring. What if we did a little something to spice things up? I'm listening. You know what festival sign waiting to be unveiled? It would be a shame if
The
someone...
two scurried off, eagerly formulating a plan.
That's a grown-ass man right there. Bro, that's crazy. Hey, Don. Yawn. Is it true about Rollo? Yeah, he didn't come home last night. I wonder if it's connected. Connected to what? I was checking in on reports about increased activity around town. What sort of activity? Windowless trucks, mechanical noises, strange lights. Your typical shady stuff. Who would be doing all that and why? Well, I have a few leads. The Valentine family is always suspicious. Perennial Harvest certainly has the resources. Do you have any idea where Rollo could be? The best place to start looking is where the trail went cold. Where did you see him last? We were in Weep Wood. right by Valentine's Fertilizer. I'll check out Wheatwood when my shift ends. I'll do my best work at night. Okay. Guess Mrs. Fratelli is getting ready for the festival. Oh boy. Identify yourself, please. Nellie Modwell. I work here now. I am unable to locate you on our staff roll. Oh, I don't officially start until tomorrow. Mr. Kerr said I could come in early tonight to get a few things done. Hold, please. Clearance authorized. Thank you. Our harvest awaits. Okay. Whoa. You could get a wretch to the noggin sneaking up on a guy like that. Don't scare a man while he's drunken, Sonny. Evening, Jeff. Isn't it kind of late to be drunken? I might as well ask the same thing of you. Find anything good? Bah, ever since Perennial Harvest move-in, even the junk is trash. You can learn a lot about a person by looking at what they throw away. With this bunch, it's all shredded paper and coffee cups. Well, I better get going. I didn't see nothing if you didn't see nothing. See what? Exactly. Hey, Jetson. Have you seen Rolo come this way by any chance? Afraid not. And elusive as the pond fish in this here pond. Is there anything new that we could use as bait? No. Nothing.
Luca wrapped a twig of some fish half refined.
Off we go. Hello? Rolo?
He aired a long holler into the woods.
Rolo. Rolo, wherever you are, I hope you're okay.
Luca felt his eyes getting heavy and plopped into the beanbag. He conceded to its lumpy embrace. Once again, Luca found himself in a vast black expanse. This time, he knew exactly where to go. He took a single confident step forward. The world flickered and pulsed. He found himself standing in front of the frigid air of a blazing campfire. The source. He plopped down cross-legged and gazed into the cold flame, waiting. Soon enough, the fire began to die out, popping sporadically, until all that was left was a single ember. Luca stood up and dusted himself off. He plucked the glowing ember from the cold ash, examined it, and slid it into his pocket. A keepsake. The voice of his father spoke behind him. "You made me proud, Buckaroo." Luca turned to face him. "Dad, what is this place?" A warm grin grew across his father's face. "A place where everything that has been and everything that could be all wait together." Luca found himself staring at his father's face, trying as hard as he could to memorize every single detail. Wait? For what? Another voice spoke out as Luca's doppelganger stepped forward. "That's up to you." Without knowing why, Luca began to weep. Is any of this real? Are you real?" Luca's father bent down to smudge away a tear. "Of course. I'm as real as the part of you that misses me." Luca turned to look at the older version of himself. "And you?" The doppelganger choked back tears. "I'm as real as the part of you that's angry he's gone." Does that make sense? Through his tears, Luca laughed. I think so. His father pulled him in for an embrace. Time to go, buckaroo. Luca was startled from his dream by a banging on the floor.
Are you in
A
there?
commanding voice rumbled from below. Just as Luca sprang to lock the entry hatch, the door knocked open. Chapter 5. Dangers big and small.
Oh boy.
Luca stumbled back. He heard the rope ladder creak under significant weight. Keeping his eyes fixed on the hatch, he inched backward to the balcony. As his hand grasped the door handle, Luca froze. A large figure clumsily wriggled up through the hole.
Stop right there. Or I'll... Jeez. I know it's dark and all, but I figured you recognized me. Who are
The
you?
large figure cocked its head inquisitively.
That Rollo? Stop now or I'll clobber you with a baseball bat. Whoa, 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 take it easy. Luca, you need to get your eyes checked. It's me, Rollo. Nice try, but I know you aren't Rollo. You're like one of his random uncles or something. Where is he? Haha, uncle? Luca, quit messing around. It's me. Is it really you? Prove it. Flaming chicken coop, Luca.
Luca's jaw dropped. He peered more closely at the man standing in front of him. Something about him was undeniably Rollo, only bigger, older, changed.
How? What happened to you? When I was running away, I ran into more people in those yellow suits. They grabbed me and dragged me away. What? Where did they take you? Don't know. They threw a bag over my head. It was cold and smelled like a swimming pool. I think I was in an underground lab or something. They made my hands all big. Look.
Rollo proudly presented his hands to Luca.
Pretty sweet, right? I mean, it wouldn't be my first pick for a superpower. But beggars can't be choosers. Rollo, it wasn't just your hands. My feet, too? Dang, Pa just made me new shoes. Wait, Luca, why are you so small?
Luca moved to the side and pointed Rollo to his reflection in the balcony window.
What
His
the?
hands shot up to his face.
Holy Toldo. Rollo, what did they do to you? They made me drink some sort of green crud. Ew. Actually, it wasn't too bad. It kind of tastes like licorice. Oh. I passed out and woke up like this. And then I sort of smashed open my cage and escaped. Whoa, you smashed open a cage? Kinda. At least I think I did. It's all a bit of a blur. They had you in a cage? Who are these people? I don't know who did this to you, but we're gonna fix it. Fix it? This is awesome. Well, I'm just glad you're safe now. Luca, you don't need to worry about me. Sure, I got snatched, but look at it this way. I got snatched. I know where snatched people go. We may finally have a lead on what happened to your family. Maybe you're right, but this all seems dangerous. Danger? Ha.
Rollo shadowboxed a few jabs.
I'll take them all on. Hey fellas, what's up? Her hair is blue, and she has the beanie on now.
With a yelp, Rollo dove behind Luca.
Ah! Take cover. Did I come at a bad time? Who the heck are you? This is Beck. Sorry, something truly bizarre just happened, and I need help. I don't know where else to go. So you're just hanging out here with your large adult friend? No, this is my buddy Rollo. This is your missing friend. One and the same. He seems a little old. I'll have you know this is a recent development. What the heck does that mean? Oh, I'm sorry. You're the one who just showed up out of nowhere. So we'll be asking the questions here. That's fair. How did you find us? Your silly little treehouse? I think you mean our silly little mission control. I hate to break it to you, but your secret path isn't so secret. And I could hear your racket, from a mile away. Oof. See, Luca, this is why we need to improve security around here. Not now, Rollo. Beck, you said something bizarre happened. Yeah, but...
She shot a nervous glance at Rollo.
Anything you can say around me, you can say around Rollo. This has to be a weird day all around, hasn't it? Yep.
Beck's eyes narrowed.
Okay, so it all started when I made it back home. My first order of business was to try to salvage my hair. So I dyed it with some stuff, the chemistry set my mom gave me. Okay. Just need to play cool. And hope no one notices. Notices what? Oh, nothing. I was just... come over here and let me have a look. Oh, honey, what in the world did you do to your hair? I just kind of felt like a change. This is going to take forever to grow out. You were the one who said that change was a good thing, right? I was talking about your mother's new job. I was talking about us moving. Well, I guess I just took your lesson to heart.
Ilona tried to put on a smile.
But I forget I came up here to tell you that Nellie had to go into work. Tonight? Her and Mr. Kerr decided it would be good for her to get some things done before tomorrow. That Kerr guy seems like a grade A creep. Beck. He is. Him and his weird cult of personality. You are not going to ruin this job for Nellie. It means too much to her. Oh, I know exactly how much it means to her. It means enough to her exile her daughter to this pro-dunk town. Damn. This place sucks. The people are weird. You just don't know them yet. It's always cold. We're in the mountains. You'll get used to it. I can't even pick up a single decent station on the radio. It's all banjo music and farm reports. You know, I grew up in a town not that different from this one. Is that why you're better at talking to plants than people? Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. First of all, you're grounded. What? In the morning, I'll have Nellie come and see what we can do about fixing your hair. You need to look presentable for the festival. But not another
She
piece.
sighed, and after a moment, looked down at Beck sympathetically.
I know moving is hard, honey. But that doesn't mean you have to make yourself miserable all the time. Other people seem to have that covered for me. Oh, and if you decide to rebel by dyeing your hair more?
She flashed a sly grin and tousled Beck's hair.
I'll just shave it off for you. Think of how rebellious you'll look then. Very funny. Thank you. Good night, sweetie. Good night, Mom. Wait. First of all, this town does not suck. Second, you need help because you got grounded? No. I'm sorry you got in trouble. It's my fault your hair got screwed up in the first place. Don't worry about it. I actually kind of like this look. Great. Can we get back to the story now? The next part is the important bit. I have this radio I upgraded with my mom and I was too angry to sleep. So I tried to dial in something worth listening to. Mr. Kerr, are you there? Mr. Kerr? Yes, I'm busy. What is it? Apologies, I have the founder on the line. Patch him through immediately. One moment. Hello, sir. It's so nice to hear from you. Skip the pleasantries. What's your report on our new lead research of deep engineering? Nellie Modwell seems to be integrating nicely. At this moment, she's working to help us meet our deadline. She offered to work overtime before I even had the chance to suggest it. Excellent. And you have faith that she's capable of finishing the work left by her predecessor. Her work must be complete before the festival. I will make sure she stays day and night until it's accomplished. Good. You know how I feel about loose ends. Yes, sir. Once she has finished the work, we need to make a determination regarding her long-term prospects in the company. Immediately, sir? I usually have more time to fully bring people into the fold. We are in the endgame, Bill. After your failures with Dr. Prescott, I can't afford to take any risks. Of course, sir. No loose ends, sir. Once she finishes the work, she will either leave the office completely committed to perennial harvest, or she won't leave at all. Perfect. Sir, if I might suggest, maybe we should delay just for a bit. Oh? It's just we seem to be rushing to hit this festival deadline. And rushing into things has caused some issues in the past. I see. Please understand that I just want what's best for you. I am eternally grateful for all that you've done for me. Bill, I'll make this very clear for you. I brought you in to make things run smoothly, not to have opinions. Of course, sir. Chin up, Bill. You are only a few days away from having everything you ever dreamed of. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Whoa. Yeah. Just so we're clear, when they said loose ends, they were talking about murder, right? Like actually killing someone? Capital murder?
Luca gave Rollo a quick elbow to the ribs.
Who is this founder? I was hoping you guys would know. Nah, as far as we know, Kurt is the top banana at Perennial Harvest. He sounded scared of this founder guy. So we have an even topper banana on the field. What the hell is my mom caught up in? Has she talked about the job much? Not really. She said she was going to come in and continue the work of someone she respected. Luca, do you think that body at the warehouse was the person Beck's mom came to replace? That would make sense. Beck, it seems like Nellie's predecessor got, loose-ended. I'm getting that impression. Okay, so we need to get your mom out of there before the festival happens. That's 2 days away. Won't she just come home after work? The creep on the radio said they were going to hold her until then. So if she's not coming out, we gotta go in and get her.
Beck flicked a large sheet of paper out of her pocket and slammed it on the floor.
Maybe this will help. You have blueprints? Well, it's really just a welcome mat from my mom's PH orientation day. But it shows the layout. Sure looks like blueprints to me. Look, here's the reception area. There's a big room marked Founder's Office. It even has the exits marked. Guys. We have a deadline. We have an objective. We have blueprints. You realize what this is,
Rollo
right?
started to wiggle with excitement.
I think we're heisting. This is officially a heist.
Chapter 6 The Heist. They spent the night's end huddled around that small map, formulating a plan to infiltrate the headquarters of Perennial Harvest. It would be no small feat. A modern facility equipped with all manner of technology. Not to mention the swarm of clipboards that would most certainly be scattered throughout. By the time the sun began to peek through the car window used as a makeshift balcony door, all were in agreement. This could just work. The final day before the festival would be used to prepare. They'd need to pool every resource at their disposal, pull every favor with a thread. Even enlist some unsavory characters around town with important tasks only they were suited for. Luckily, there was enough ill will and mistrust toward Perennial Harvest that alliances could be found at a bargain. Luca, Beck, and Rollo rubbed their eyes as they exited the treehouse. They hadn't slept at all that night. There was no time. The festival was to begin in one day, and they each had their assignments.
Alright, quick recap. Rollo, you're gonna talk to Roxy. Cordially. Without her and Fitz, this whole thing could go bust. Me? Cordial is my middle name. Uh-huh. And how do you plan to explain your
He waved
new
vaguely at Rollo's sizable figure.
circumstance? Bah, she'll be so happy I'm alive, she won't even notice.
Beck snorted an involuntary giggle.
And Beck, you sure Ilona won't just shoot this whole thing down when she hears it? She'll listen. Once she understands the danger Nellie is in, we're all in. The plan will make sense. Okay, that leaves me with Jeff and then Iggy. How are you gonna persuade them? I'll think of
They
something.
each looked at each other with sleepy confidence and nodded.
Well, Godspeed. Enlist the help of Jeff. Enlist the help of Iggy and Tish. Oh, great heavens. There are surprisingly not that many people here. Can't talk to you. Undaunted, he shook his head. Over? No. Endings are merely a state of mind. This doesn't end until I give up. Wow. I admire the conviction. But can he really pull through? Yawn. You ever wondered why an agricultural company employs an army of survey takers? The clipboards? They say they're just trying to make us happy. Do they want to make us happy? Or just figure out what makes us happy? An important distinction. Okay. Stay over here. There's Jeff. Hey Jeff, what can I do you for? Well, I know how much you hate Perennial Harvest. Hate's a strong word. Oh, sorry, I didn't say it was the wrong word. Gotcha. So, we're gonna break into their headquarters, and I thought you might be able to help.
Jeff wheezed out a long snicker.
You see, I knew you kids were alright. Great, so you'll
The
help?
joy in Jeff's face drained instantly.
Not a chance. But give me one good reason I should risk my hide aiding and abetting you rascals.
Looking into the sullen eyes of his would-be accomplice, Luca blurted out the first word that came to mind.
Junk, hide, shit, fight. Junk. Junk! Yeah, what of it? Sonny, I've got more junk than a king has copper. Ain't interested.
Luca wasn't ready to give up, so he shouted out again.
Hide? Hide!
Jeff's brow perked up.
What'd you say? Go ahead and hide
Sensing
then.
some traction, Luca carried on with vigor.
Let a bunch of kids do what needs to be done. We're not afraid.
Jeff's scowl faded with a sigh.
Say what you will about old Jeff, and they all do. But you'll never hear him say, I hide from
One
nothing.
good stomp of the foot was all Jeff needed to drive his point home.
What was it you kids needed? Some sort of disguise. I've got just the thing. And while we're at it, that crate should come in handy. This ain't gonna be free, you know. I'm thinking 5 bags of sour gob should cover it. Put it on my tab.
Luca offered out his open hand to seal the deal. With a firm and dusty grip, Jeff reciprocated.
Done. Swing by first thing in the morning. Cool. No idea where Iggy is. Bruh. Can't talk to him. Hey Tish, look who it is. Luca, are you here to try to tickle us to death again? Look, just hear me out.
Iggy raised an eyebrow suspiciously.
We're listening. Iggy, I know we've both been giant bags of shit to each
Iggy
other.
gave a reluctant shrug.
You're not wrong. But lately life has been kinda strange, you know?
Iggy considered the point.
Things have been weird around here. So I'm offering a truce and asking for your help. What do you say we break our hostilities, at least for now? We do like breaking things. Even if a truce means less breaking things. What if I told you there was a way to have a truce and break stuff? Go on. I need you to cause a distraction so I can sneak into Perennial Harvest's HQ.
A wild-eyed grin spread across Iggy's face.
My, Luca Van Horn. I'm impressed. And after this is all done, maybe you and Tish can come hang out at the treehouse
Iggy
sometime.
glanced over to Tish, who nodded in agreement.
Fine. But not because we want to see your crappy treehouse. We just like to cause
With a
chaos.
quick nod, Luca was off.
Did you hear that, Tish?
Iggy gazed up at Tish with a smile.
He invited us to hang out at the
A
treehouse.
single tear ran down Tish's cheek.
I never expected this day to come. How wonderful. Oh, she could talk.
Chapter 7. Into the Hive. A good heist requires preparation. And thorough preparation takes time. Something they had precious little of. So far, everything was in order. Jeff, Iggy, and Tish all agreed to do their part. Beck radioed Luca that night with a simple and covert message. "We're locked and loaded on my end." And Rollo, after a lengthy confession, managed to persuade Roxy and Fitz to help. He stowed away in mission control for the night to avoid attracting attention. Rollo, being uniquely suited for the role, would be the first to breach Perennial Harvest. The outfit provided by Jeff wasn't perfect, but a convincing disguise is 10% wardrobe, 90% confidence. Rollo took a few vigorous breaths and shook out his arms.
Just stay calm, Rollo. You can do this. Is he pretending to be the maintenance man? Got your delivery here. A delivery? I don't have anything in my notes about a delivery. One moment. I'm so sorry, but there's no delivery scheduled for this morning.
He
Right.
had to think quick.
That's because this goes directly to the founder. He asked that it be kept
Rollo
secret.
sighed, adjusting his tool belt.
You know how the founder can be. I suppose we can leave this one off the records. Our harvest awaits and
With
such.
a stroke of his mustache, Rollo proceeded into the Perennial Harvest headquarters.
Our harvest awaits. Be broken. Package here for the founder. Oh, I didn't hear anything about... Yeah, this is a need to know kind of thing. I'll just
He
check.
stammered and flipped through the pages of his clipboard.
This goes directly to the founder. I don't have time to fill you in. Oh, I see. If you could just complete this
Rollo
form.
interrupted with urgency in his voice.
Every time with the forms. Look, if you want to explain to the founder why I'm late. Well, it's your funeral. I'm sorry. What did you say your name was again?
Rollo panicked.
Our harvest awaits. Sir? That's a restricted area. Excuse me, sir. Our harvest awaits. Ready to light this candle, Tish? Yup. Suck on this perennial ham fist. What was
The
that?
distraction was enough for Rollo to regain his confidence.
Just open the damn door. Got a job
The
to do.
clipboard fumbled around in a frenzy.
I should check on that noise. Oh, come on. Just buzz me in already. Okay, okay. Phew. That was close. Our harvest awaits. Hey, I figure. When in doubt, stick with the classics. Well, that was a close one. But you pulled it off. Nice work, Rollo. Alright, everyone knows what to do? Yep, deep engineering is to the north. I'll go with Beck, in case she needs some muscle. I'll head to the east to the founder's office. You two be safe. Locate the founder's office. Well, it said to the east. That's odd. There's not even any cups for the water. It's because he's a dog. Drink straight from the tap. What happens if I go this way? A hallway to nowhere. What's going on here? Wait, can I inspect it? Yeah, I can. Is this some sort of mind game? Oh shit. Solomon?
Solomon stopped in his tracks.
Luca? What are you doing here? It's a long story. Are you
A
okay?
veneer of confusion flashed across Solomon's face. His words rushed out dramatically.
No, I am most certainly not okay. Some strange people grabbed me and... Were they in hazmat suits? Yes, how did you know? They brought me here and locked me up, and when they were distracted, I ran. Dang, okay. You should stick with me. We've got a plan.
Solomon's facade briefly faltered.
We? Yeah, Rollo and Beck are headed to deep engineering. Thank heavens you found me. We've got to get out of here. We can't leave just yet. But they'll catch us again. I've got to do something first. When you were running, did you happen to see a door marked Founder? Founder? Why are you looking for him? I'm not. I just need to get into the office. Now that you mention it, I do think I saw a door that said Founder. It was just down this way.
Luca happened to notice a plaque above the door.
Office of the Founder. Knocking comes with consequences. Oh, here it is. So it is. It's pretty lucky that I ran into you, or else I might have missed it. Truly fortunate.
Luca tried the handle.
Locked.
Solomon leaned forward to examine the mechanism.
Regrettably, it seems to be some sort of electric lock. I don't see how we could have possibly defeated a lock like that.
Luca smiled and looked at his watch.
Oh boy. Let's just wait a minute. Oh. I don't know what sort of funny business you're up to, but I like
She
it.
mined a quick hat tip and ambled off with a whistle.
Howdy. Good afternoon.
The light on the keypad changed from red to green.
How did you do that? It's good to have friends. Quick, let's get inside before someone spots us. Sigh.
Luca switched on his walkie-talkie.
Rollo, I'm in. As expected, there's a control panel. Great timing. We're stuck at a locked door marked number 24601. Need you to get us through. What if someone catches us? We should get out of here. I'm not leaving my friends, Solomon.
On the computer screen, a green cursor blinked in a password field.
Surely you don't have a way to get around the password.
Luca pecked out his best guess. Underground secrets. The screen blinked to life. Columns of green numbers glowed on a black background.
How did you just guess that? Oh, it's this absurd password Rollo heard when he was down here before. It's funny how someone arrogant enough to call themselves the Founder uses such a basic word. Or they were thinking several moves ahead, not expecting anyone to guess something so simple. These villain types always ended up outsmarting themselves.
Solomon's jaw clenched into a half smile.
Your powers of deductions are impressive as your luck.
Luca quickly scanned the columns for number 24601.
Rollo, I think this should do it. Bingo, bango, doors open. Luca, you never fail to impress. What is that slippery lout even doing down there? We have a friend whose mom is in trouble. We're here to get her out. I see. Oh, look. Okay, Luca, I think we're close. The next door is marked 13806.
Once again, Luca scrutinized the numbers on the screen. In that moment of distraction, Solomon reached forward and pressed a large red button.
Maybe this one opens the lock. Crap, we've got company. Luca, must go faster. One sec, I can't think with all this noise.
He quickly skimmed the screen with his finger.
Here it is, 13806. Go, go, go. Curse these fumbling hands. My apologies, Luca. Don't beat yourself up. I know you were just trying to help. Aw, man. No water cups. Rollo. Rollo, are you okay? Rollo, come in.
Mr. Kerr approached with a sneer and spoke into his walkie-talkie.
You can turn off the alarms. They're trapped.
With self-satisfaction, he called into the hallway.
That, my dears, is a dead end. Nowhere to run. Rollo, where are you? Are you okay? Yeah, I think we lost them. Making our way back to Nellie's office. Okay, you two rabble-rousers are coming with us. How the fuck did they get in? Nope. Make a break for it. Did that little shit just kick me? Don't stand there. After them. Okay, I think that worked. Roxy and Fitz have them on a wild goose chase. I am having trouble following what just happened. Like I said, it's good to have friends. Rollo, how long do you think Roxy can distract them? How long can Roxy keep someone so pissed off they can't see straight? Let's just say we've got time. Entering Nellie's office now. Mom. Oh, honey. What did you do to your hair? I thought you'd be happy. I finally used the Young Chemist Lab kit. You sure have a knack for making me incredibly proud in the most frustrating ways. We need to get you out of here. We? Who is this? Who is your adult friend? Oh, I'm not an adult. Ever heard of growth spurt? I'm more of a growth spew. Ew. No, that's not possible.
Nellie leaned over to examine his teeth.
Substantial banding on the enamel of the molars consistent with Tempus liquamine exposure. Is that what you call the gunk they forced me to drink? You drank it? Oh no. They told me it was only being tested on plants. Oh, Bex, sweetie, I promise I didn't know. Mom, what the hell is going on at this place? I was brought here to work on the discovery of a lifetime. A novel chemical compound was discovered under Beacon Pines in a wellspring they called the Source. They named it Tempus liquamine. It pulls energy from its surroundings in order to fundamentally alter matter's relationship to time. It was the secret to Valentine's fertilizer. They harvested the source, infusing small amounts of Tempus liquamine into the product. It worked wonders, drastically accelerating plant growth. Crops would be ready to harvest in a fraction of time. But it led to complications. The foul harvest. Perennial harvest came to clean up the mess, to succeed where Valentine failed. But Tempus liquamine is rebellious. Rebellious? You can think of it as a manifestation of change itself. It's volatile by its very nature. So the more you try to force it to do a specific thing, the more it resists. Yes, I can relate to that. My role was to finish the work of my predecessor, Dr. Prescott. Harnessing Tempus liquamine to reliably manipulate an organism's age. Orgasms, my bad. Just imagine how many people we could feed. Mr. Kerr was very insistent that we achieve a successful result before today's festival. But you didn't,
Nellie
right?
sighed.
You know how much I love a good puzzle. I poured myself into the problem. It wasn't long until I discovered oddities in Dr. Prescott's notes. Oddities? They contain obvious errors, mistakes that someone of his reputation would never make. So I fixed them and now I get to replace my entire wardrobe. I really am truly sorry. Man, those clothes are all hand-me-downs anyway. Sounds like Dr. Prescott figured it out, got cold feet, and intentionally sabotaged his own work. I had considered that possibility. I sent a letter asking him to clarify his thinking. Mom, Dr. Prescott is dead. Kerr had him killed. What? I overheard them talking about it on the radio. It's why we gotta get you out of here. I just... like now. Wait, the vial. I finally solved the chemical equation, allowing direct control of aging. Mr. Kerr picked it up just before you came. All the more reason we gotta hightail it. Luca, we've got Dr. Modwell heading your way now. Roger that. Be careful. Alright, everything is on track. And what is your plan for escape? We'll go over everything when they get here. In the meantime, maybe we can dig up some more info. Malice 80 proof whiskey. A hard drink for a hard man. Wow, even his alcohol is arrogant.
Solomon muttered inaudibly.
I should just smother you right now. What's that? I said I shouldn't bother you right now. Don't be silly, you're no bother at all. Let's see what else this bad boy has on it. Security system, time card logs, payroll. You know, for being so evil, this guy sure is boring.
Solomon once again muttered under his breath.
Just you wait. Huh? Oh, nothing.
Luca tugged on each of the cabinets.
Dang, this must be the good stuff. They're all locked. Perhaps he's not as careless as you suspect. It looks like the founder was helping her plan the festival. Why would such a secretive leader be obsessed with the party? Only time will tell.
Luca held his hand up to the ashtray.
Still warm. He must have been in here recently. 'Cause he's right there! I'm really sorry you got dragged into this mess, Solomon. You needn't worry about me. Well, I feel bad either way. We're gonna get you out of this, I promise.
With a subtle, quivering lip, a smile crawled across Solomon's face. They heard the trampling of frantic footsteps from the hallway.
Lock it, lock it, lock it. Locked. That was close. When we left Dolly's office, it was swarming with clipboards. We barely got away. Did they follow you? Rollo. Before we start tossing blame around, is it possible someone ordered a pizza? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Definitely not pizza. What now? Don't look at me. I'm officially retiring from the heisting business. We're so sorry for the inconvenience. We just have a few quick questions. Just let me think. Can someone watch the door? Of course. Everyone else huddle up. Oops. I think this little capkeeper has gone long enough. Solomon, no. Hush now, child. The adults are speaking. Dr. Modwell, a brief reintroduction is in order. We've never met in person, but we have corresponded. You see, it was I who hired you. Solomon, the pathetic orphan child. The powerful and enigmatic founder. Shapper, the fallen progenitor who created this town. Perennial Harvest, Valentine Fertilizer, all connected by a single thread, yours truly. But that's...
Her eyes searched the floor in thought. Solomon watched eagerly, waiting for the flicker of epiphany. With a sickened look, she peered into his soul.
Ha, yes, now you got it. Tempus Wiquamine, you discovered how to reverse the process.
Solomon clapped with genuine delight.
Very good, Dr. Modwell. Very good. Though the discovery wasn't intentional.
Solomon glanced down, examining his youthful form.
And the effects went a little too far for my taste. That's why you needed me to finish Dr. Prescott's work? Which you did admirably. Mr. Kerr, the vial, please.
Kerr presented it with a theatrical twirl of the hand.
May I present to you the eighth wonder of
Before he
the...
could finish, Rollo snatched the vial from Kerr's palm.
Damn. Wow, this stuff sounds pretty valuable. Be careful, you fool. You have no idea what you have in your hand. Actually, we do. You just did a whole evil villain monologue thingy about it.
Casually tossed the vial to Luca.
Gosh, maybe I'll have a
Luca
taste.
jiggled the vial mockingly.
Seize him. Luca, over here. Move another inch and I'll smash
She
it.
held it tightly behind her back. Solomon sighed, speaking in crisp, measured syllables.
You have no plan. I'll smash it, I swear. Fine, risk killing us all. Or if you're lucky, nothing happens. Then what? We capture you and grant you much less
He
leniency.
pursed his lips with feigned sincerity.
But I give you my word. If you hand it over now, none of you will be
A
harmed.
deep uncertainty washed over Beck.
You're a smart girl, Beck. But there's no shame in being outwitted by someone smarter than you. We both know there is only one way this ends.
She looked to Nellie shakily. With a dispirited nod, Nellie sighed in defeat. Beck slowly approached Solomon.
That's a good girl. Beck, don't do it. We can't trust that jerk. I'm sorry, he's right.
With apprehension, Beck conceded. Solomon pocketed the vial and brushed off his shoulder with a sharp flick.
Mr. Kerr, you have allowed yourself to be humiliated by a group of children. Report to my office tomorrow for a performance
The
review.
blood drained from Kerr's face.
Of course, sir. But first, you have a speech to make. Trot out there and give me the introduction I deserve. And don't forget to smile. Yes, sir. And to think all of this is thanks to the efforts of Mr. Van Horn. I don't understand. How is this all because of me? Ha, I said Mr. Van Horn, silly child. Dr. Walt Van Horn. Your father was always a thorn in my side. I offered him an opportunity to be part of something great, but the fool was blinded by righteousness. He even broke into my laboratory in an attempt to sabotage my work.
Solomon shook his head with gratification.
But the universe has a funny way of correcting course. By meddling with a force he didn't understand, Walt showed me its true potential. As fate would have it, Luca, your father's dying act was to grant me eternal life.
A muffled applause resonated faintly through the walls.
Well, let's make you. After the festivities and my subsequent ascension, I will return to deal with you all. Until then, I suggest you use this time to reflect on your magnitude of your failure. You three keep post outside the door. Well, crap. Alrighty, we're stuck here now, but let's see, what are their words? I can't believe Beck sold us out like that. I'm not sure she had any other choice. So what now? What's the plan? I don't have one. Of course you do. You always have a plan. Rollo, you just need some time. Rollo, it's over. We lost.
Nellie was staring at the floor, deep in thought.
Sorry, Luca. Give me a minute to calm my mind. Hey. I'm sorry, Luca. I did what I had to do. I know, it's just we were so close. I've got a feeling that eventually Solomon will get what's coming to him. Time, wounds all heal. Well, time seems like less of an issue for him now. Luca, there's something you should know. After Mr. Kerr locked me in that office, I had nothing but time and curiosity. I poked around a bit, hoping to find a means of escape, but I found something else. A note, hidden in a false drawer. What sort of note? Dr. Prescott must have sensed his time at Perennial Harvest was growing short, so he left behind a letter with the hope it would be found by his successor. It was a confession of sorts. He left it for me, but its contents... Luca, I think they were meant for you. Why? What did it say? It was about an incident with your mother. Prescott found her in his lab with a stolen keycard. There was an accident. She had been exposed to extreme amounts of Tempest
The
Lucamine.
color dropped from Luca's face.
She survived. Dr. Prescott decided to help her recover. He no longer trusted Perennial Harvest, so he kept her whereabouts a secret. Over time, your mother led him to reconsider the purpose of scientific discovery. Science is often at the vanguard of change, but that doesn't mean it's always right. He realized that no one should have control over something as powerful as time itself. I now believe that's why he began to intentionally sabotage his own work. And it cost him his life. That's a reasonable conclusion.
Luca was overwhelmed with emotion.
But if she's alive, where has she been? Where is she now?
A sudden explosion sounded from the hull. Chapter 8.
Alright. I think I'm just going to end stream here. Because that's a lot to process. And my god, things just keep getting more and more intense. So yeah, that is going to be all for today's stream. We've uncovered more of the truth. What is it? His grandma is actually secretly his mom. Solomon is actually Sharper. Rollo is now partially an adult. And what is it? What's her face? I already forgot her name. Yeah, I forgot her name. Anyways, Catgirl over here. She's now edgier as heck. But other than that, thank you so much for today's stream. And up until next time, take care. Have a good one. Goodbye.